Hello, how is everyone doing today? This is Pete here from lordsofgaming.net, Iron Lords podcast, and I'm here with...
Several Inverts. I'm CEO at the Arcade Crew and Dotemu, and I'm going to show you today Young Souls, a game by 1P2P, a studio from the north of France. Hi guys. And hope you like it.
Sounds great. So yes, we are here playing Young Souls, and we're going to go check out some gameplay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your development team while this is starting up a little here.
So basically, Young Souls is a game made by 1P2P, which is a studio from the north of France. It's the story of two orphan twins, Tristan and Jen. They're kind of outcast in their city, but they've been adopted by kind of old scientists. That's kind of their adoptive father. The beginning of the game is kind of a flash forward, but basically at some point they come home and their adoptive father disappeared. And they discover that behind this kind of office, there is like a secret room that goes to a basement where there's a portal to the Goblin's world. And so they go on a quest to kind of search for their adoptive father and kind of discover what's all about with the Goblin world and why they want to go to war with humans.
Excellent, excellent. And this animation looks really smooth and beautiful. So what type of engine are you guys using for this?
This is Unity, basically.
Okay, so you're using Unity for this. Okay.
Animation is made using Flash, but it's just like the tool being used because it makes it easier. You'll see there are lots of different gears, lots of different customization elements. But as you can see, it looks very smooth. It doesn't look like a Flash animation, basically. But it's a great tool they used, and they've been used to use that tool for a very long time. They know really how to use it to the best of the possibilities. But it's also 3D, so it's a mix between 2D and 3D, as you can see. So it adds depth to the kind of backgrounds, and at the same time you have this very, animation and graphics with lots of character, lots of personality that you can only have with 2D, basically.
I love how I love, first of all, co-op games, because I play with my brother all the time when we're doing stuff, and coming from playing lots of games when we were younger, and seeing a game like this, it fully pulls me in and draws me in. And the way that this was done, I love it, because I love how it shows that separation of character and the background. It looks really nice. So is this coming out for what platforms?
We didn't announce any platform yet, but the game is coming out this year, and we'll make some more announcements in the probably by the end of summer. We'll make some big announcement about the game and more precisions about the platforms and everything.
So I see that is this level based? How does this work now? Because I see numbers next to each character.
So basically, this is just the introduction of the game, where you kind of learn the basic mechanics of the game. The core gameplay is a kind of a beat 'em up game with RPG mechanics. So basically, you have a night and day cycle. During the day, you hang out in the city, go to different shops, buy some clothes, do some exercise at the gym, do some boxing tournaments, meet some NPCs, unveil some aspects of the stories in the human world, meet with lots of different characters and stuff like that. And then when you're ready at night, you'll go back home, you'll go to the basement, go through the portal and enter different dungeons.
That's really cool. Now, that kind of makes me think of, I think the game was called Punch
Out?
No.
Oh, no, but not Punch Out. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? So yes, there's
it's a bit like this, that's true.
Yeah. So you can go and you can work out your character during the daytime, and then right after that you end up going right into doing whatever you need to do.
And also what's cool is that because it's a night and day cycle, it's also calendar based. So basically, every night and day cycle is going to be a different day. So one day you go to the city, some shops will be closed because it's the day they close. Some NPCs will be there some days and not the others. Your relationship with them will evolve as well in the city. And then at night, when you go to the dungeons, we'll see a bit later. Basically, you unveil the story. You go through dungeons. You beat mini bosses, big bosses. You have different rooms, different types of gameplay, and then you progress. And every time you go into a dungeon, you kind of use this machine to go there. But then at some point at night, you can't go as much as you want. Mm-hmm. So you have to stop, go back to sleep, gain some experience, increase your stats. During the day, go a bit in the city, train, and then go back at night and do it all over again. And you progress like that, like bit by bit.
So it looks like right now the characters both have swords and shields. Is there a plan for doing other types of weapons, or are they already?
There are already lots and lots of weapons. You have daggers, sword and shield, a bow and arrow, double hand sword, daggers. What else? You have a grappling hook, a mine.
Ooh, grappling hooks.
Grappling hooks, yes.
Yeah, I love those. So, is there only 2 characters that you can play as throughout this whole time?
Yes, it's really a story-based game. So the game is written by Matthew Reeder, who used to work at Telltale on The Walking Dead, and also like worked as a writing director for Vampire, last game from Focus on
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all the dialogues, all the story, super important. And the personality of each twin develops along the game as well. You see the relationship they have between each other. They have their own personality, their relationship with their adoptive father as well, their relationship with the whole NPCs in the city. So yeah, that's why like the fact that they're both of them is really important. Even when you play by yourself, there is an AI that follows you, so you're never alone. Basically, it's always the twins, fighting together.
But yes. Well, nothing says more type of cohesion of 2 people than twins, because they're essentially one person.
Yes.
But that's really, really neat. That's really cool. So do you have any showing of how you can show us the skill trees or anything you were saying?
No, in that demo there are no skill trees for now. There will be in the final game. This demo is kind of old actually. It's 8 to 9 months old. Mm-hmm. So the game evolved a lot since then, but it kind of gets you the whole feeling around the game. You can see right there, for example, that's every day when you wake up, you can choose your gear.
Does your gear matter?
That doesn't matter. That's for the day. That's for the human world. So it's just cosmetic.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now, you
have so many possibilities. They share the same wardrobe, so it's like you can really have fun. You have hats, you have shoes, you have pretty much anything. And at night you'll see. We're gonna go to the dungeons after that, and so you'll see a bit how it goes.
Yeah.
So you can press B to select once you're ready. So we're gonna go downstairs. So right now we're in the mansion where where used to live your adoptive father. And right now it's a bit after the introduction where you discovered that he disappeared. You went to the office, and behind the office you saw that strange room with an elevator that goes down to the basement and leads to a portal room.
Every family member has that elevator in the back of their office. You know what I'm saying?
So every time you take the elevator, it brings you to the nighttime time of the game.
Because I want to see how you equip your gear here. When you're ready to know.
That's what I want to show you.
Now you're saying that you only have a couple of people working on your team. You're saying?
So the development team is a core team of 2 people. Now there are 4 full-time working on the game. So let's see the gear. So basically we share the gear as well. So you see you have daggers, like double hand sword, single hand sword.
And you don't
rapier.
You can't share the gear. Only one person can get that piece of weapon, right?
You have shields, different types of shields.
That's cool.
You have helmets.
Different helmets. And each of them have different stats on it to affect you differently.
Different weight, different stats.
And it looks like your speed actually depends upon what weapon and gear you're wearing.
The weight of your armor, of your weapons, and also the resistance to certain elements. The efficiency against certain elements.
So elemental damage is incorporated in this.
Yes, because every dungeons are within there are big chapters in the game. Each chapter is a different biome. So you have ice, fire, jungle, and each biome has specific enemies. So you need to gear up accordingly, because once you're in the dungeon, you can't gear up anymore.
So how many different types of levels you'd say there are, or is it dungeon based?
There are more than 50 dungeons. The game length is around a bit more than 40 hours.
So are each dungeon, would you say, is it?
So for example, this is a placeholder UI, right? But you get the idea. So those are all kinds of different biomes, right?
Okay.
And in each biome, you have kind of mandatory dungeon that you have to go through. but then you'll have some kind of hubs like that.
Right.
And you're not obliged to do everything. As long as you do the main path, you can go there and not do these dungeons, right?
Right.
But the more you progress, the harder the level will get, right? So sometimes you need to go back and do certain dungeons so that you couldn't do when you were during that biome. So there's like lots of replayability, you know. And you can choose whatever order you choose to do the dungeons. Each dungeon will bring you new gear, experience, access to other dungeons, access to new skills, all that kind of stuff.
Can you show us another biome right here, where we're going?
So those are kind of, I don't want to spoil it, but you have lots of different, this is the first biome, and this is the jails, goblin jails, because that's where you're going to search first to get to know where your adoptive father is, basically.
Right.
Because you're guessing like he's in jail with the goblins, right? So that's the first level of the jails. So I think our gear is a bit overpowered for that level, so we'll see. But that'll give you a good idea of how the level works and everything.
Excellent. So now this is where the leveling system kind of comes into play, because it's actually the gameplay itself.
Yes.
Interesting. Now I see how the characters are with the daggers. You are moving a lot faster than you are with the sword and shield.
Other moves as well, a whole different move set actually.
That's really nice. It makes it really have a good replayability, if you say, because you don't know, each thing is kind of different.
Exactly, and so many combinations as well.
Yes.
Like you can basically like try daggers and heavy armor, for example. You can try like a double hand sword with like a rogue. Like leather armor or something like that, Mm-hmm. There's also like bare-handed fighting that you can learn in the city, like in a boxing club,
That's nice. That's cool. Excellent. Okay, so we're gonna kind of go through this a little bit longer, but I want to say thank you very much for taking some time, just kind of showing us, young souls here. I'm loving this. This is great. I love this type of game. I will play them all day long. So I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
LordsGame.net. Check us out. See you later.